Good morning, everyone. It's Yvonne here from the Aussie Goddess to do what's cracking reading. I am losing track because I haven't written up the dates. So I am losing track a little bit, but I think it's the 15th today, isn't it? It's the 12th on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 15th. Only about an hour before I go live on my TV channel, so it gives me a bit of time to do the readings again this morning in my little humble abode, my little bedroom. But starting to sort of, I'm really tired. It's really caught up with me this week, and but I'm starting to settle in, which is awesome. So thank you again for all the beautiful people who sent me birthday messages, and thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. And I'm really close to the camera, but I can't seem to get it in the, that's probably a little better. All right, let's see what's going on in the world of the I don't even know where I was going with that. So let's just, there you go. That's how tired I am. Oh boy, I woke up at 3 o'clock this morning with an epiphany again, and I'm like, goodness gracious, Spirit can't give me those during the day because I'm too busy. So I get woken up at 3 o'clock in the morning with how not to control things. And it was just such an enlightening moment. And then, of course, I wanted to sort of really relish it and everything and try and understand what they were saying, because it was finally got it. Hopefully it will put the end to some of the things I've been trying to get through. Alrighty, we're there. Talking of letting go of things. Okay, so we have the Four of Pentacles here. So the Four of Pentacles often signifies a need to hang on. It's often hanging on to your money, but it can be hanging on to old thoughts, old ideas, old ways of doing things, old people even. In the traditional tarot, of course, we see the guy with 2 pentacles under his feet, one over his heart and one over his head, which means he's totally blocking off any energy that comes from the universe. So all his chakras are blocked and he's not grounded. When you hang on to things, that's what happens. You get out of the flow. So hanging on to your money doesn't allow your money to flow. Hanging on to people doesn't allow the next person to come in. Those sort of things. It just blocks your flow. We do have the sun behind that, which is absolutely glorious, because this means that by letting go of things, you're going to bring a lot of joy and happiness into your life. So learning to let go of this control stuff, and especially after I've talked about my epiphany, letting go of the control is what helps your life to flow. So once you've allowed yourself to accept hanging on to things doesn't allow you to move forward, then the universe can bring in what is right for you then. We do have the Six of Swords here. So for some of you, this means moving away from things that no longer serve you. So the Six of Swords, of course, is moving in the boat with your swords in hand, knowing that you've learned everything you needed to learn and moving on from a situation. And then we have the Ten of Wands. So that's about closing out the cycle. So I just want to have another peek. Eight of Pentacles. Yep. So this is about really understanding how to allow yourself to accept what the universe has to offer you. So the universe has an abundance. You have an abundance waiting for you. I was watching another reader yesterday talking about bringing in what you want to bring in. If you are finding it hard to manifest, that is the reason why. So when you hang on, when you sort of dig your heels in and you refuse to move forward, there is no opportunity for new things to come into your life, and very often they're all waiting for you. So what you see is a very stuck period of time where you can't get things done, nothing seems to be happening, and then all of a sudden things start to flow because you've started to go back in flow with the universe again. So when things start to sort of move along, that's because you're back in the flow. Okay, so what is it going to bring in? Look. This is you coming up as the Queen of Wands. So the Queen of Wands is an energy, it represents obviously the fire signs, Leo, Sagittarius, but this is more about you sort of what they're showing me is like the grabbing the baton in a relay race. Okay, so it's like you're running along, you take what the universe has and you just run with it. So this is what you're doing. You're taking leadership, you're taking ownership, you're moving forward, and you're taking your what you need with you. So now the universe can give you the baton to run with. Beautiful. I love it when they show me a picture like that. Okay, so we have the Nine of Wands here. So the Nine of Wands can be, don't forget about keeping your boundaries in place. So even though you want to flow again, you've got to remember that you have learned these lessons around self-protection, making sure that you are, putting yourself at the forefront of things you do, not allowing other people to walk all over you. Sometimes when I read your messages, I think some of you are just learning this now. If you don't put boundaries in place, not only for yourself, it's not good for others either. If you don't teach people how to respect people, then you're sort of doing them an injustice as well. So if you're letting people get away with treating you poorly, then they think that's okay, and that's how they go into the world, which creates drama for them. So we carry on a cycle. So what we're in fact doing is we're teaching our children what our parents probably taught us. So putting boundaries in place is so important, being able to say no to people, but also not restricting yourself to an abundance too. So not making yourself small when you're actually, able to be as big as you need to be. Okay, very interesting reading. Princess of Swords coming in here. So the Princess of Swords talks about speaking your truth. This is about really expressing yourself. Now, the Princess is only really a card of messages and information, but for you, I feel this is coming up to say, you need to use this power, you need to wield this sword, you need to show the universe, what you're truly capable of. And the first thing that means is for you to speak out about who you are and what you want in your life. You only get one chance at this life. You only get the one chance. So, just ask yourself, if I were to leave the world tomorrow, would I have done everything I wanted, and would I have lived the life I truly dreamed? Because if you're living your life for others, then you're not doing what's right for you. Okay, and then we have Temperance. Absolutely beautiful. So this is about now bringing in this beautiful balance of, being able to balance your emotions, being able to balance your universe, being able to have everything in sync here. This is really nice because something beautiful is coming here. I can feel it. Yep. Abundance. So by doing this, by sort of having your life in order here, you can bring in abundance, which of course brings in your financial flow, it brings in people into your life, it brings in the opportunities, and it also helps you to let go of things of what are holding you back too. So it's letting go of fear, letting go of worry, being able to just let the universe bring to you what you deserve here. And for some of you, it might be a husband. It could be an earth sign, Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo, but the King of Pentacles is a person who has completely learned how to have power in their own world. Like, they understand the power of money. They like to make sure that they have enough material goods. So he's the top of his suit. And he is the person I always see as the provider and the husband. But I feel this is the energy you're coming to by allowing yourself to move back into the universe where you need to be, moving back into your own power here, having enough financial flow, having that power to be able to bring in what you want to bring in, and it comes with this beautiful abundance. We have the Prince of Pentacles coming in here. So the Prince of Pentacles is very often has to do with study, being learned, understanding, having a good knowledge of things. So it's sort of like, not only is this sort of getting into this flow, bringing you the material stuff, it's also bringing you a greater understanding of where you are in the world and what the world is all about. I always think, people think you get up in the morning, have breakfast, go to work, come home. Life is so hard. I went through many, many years of thinking how difficult life really was, because it just seemed like hard work all the time. But once you let go of that idea of how it should be and allow yourself to be just you in the world, living in the moment, then everything starts to fall in place. This is a gift coming to you here from the universe. This is all people in this reading this morning. This is a gift of love coming in here. So for some of you, this is an opportunity to move forward. We do have the orchid here, and the orchid actually is a very sexual flower. It represents sexual energy. So there seems to be this very strong feeling here that you've got somebody here who's very passionate and very interested in who you are, and wants to make you an offer. They may be just waiting for you to get in the flow. The Five of Pentacles coming up. So the Five of Pentacles talks of feeling lack, living from a place of lack. And I feel like probably this should be upside down here, because I feel like in this particular reading, it's saying that you are no longer living in this place of lack. And what that means is, you know, you're understanding that not everything that happens in a day is there to pull you downwards. It's there to push you upwards. So by letting go of fear and taking these risks, you can let go of this idea that you're living from a place of lack. So you hear people doing it all the time, and you think if you talk that way, you're going to manifest it for yourself. And you hear people saying things like, I don't have the money, I'm too poor, I can't afford to go on holidays. And I think, well, if you say those things, then that is the life you're setting up for yourself. So you've got to come from a place of positivity. Well, maybe you don't feel that you have the finances at that time, but don't put it out there, because what you're doing is you're manifesting that. So look at how you say things, how you put yourself in the world, and try to understand that you are conditioning yourself by saying negative things. Just be conscious of them. I'm not saying you have to change them, but be conscious when you say something. Now look what comes out at the end, the Star. This is your destiny. This is the direction. This is the learning. We're all on a very similar pathway. It's just that everybody's at a different stage of that. And I guess for some of the people in, you know, especially on YouTube, there are people on YouTube who are way ahead of the game, you know, that I learn from, that we all learn from. So, you know, we're all at different stages on this journey, and we're all being taught very similar things. It's just we're at different places picking those up. And I'm sure for all of you, there are times when you sort of go, ah, rightio, now I see what I'm doing. Now I see where I'm going. And this is certainly what this reading is all about. It's about allowing the universe to bring things in by not denying yourself what you deserve. Beautiful reading. Okay, so I've pulled a Wisdom of the Oracle card, as I've been doing lately. I'm waiting for some new cards to come too. And I actually have the card of New Life coming out here, which I think is very beautiful to complement that reading. So this is 39. All right, so this is the birth of new ideas, growth, opportunities, a breath of fresh air, and life renewing itself. How beautiful is that? So when spring awakens the world, joy and excitement can be felt all around and in your very core. Blossoms burst from trees overnight, birds return home and sing their glorious song, and nature is full of promise. I want to do the Walt Disney thing now, where I have all the animals come in and sit with me while I'm doing this. It just feels very much like that. Miracles beckon all of us. This is one of those times in your life where new ideas inspire you and new opportunities bring you hope for seeing your dreams come true. All is well in your world and you have the energy you need to feel renewed. Allow your heart to fill with enthusiasm. Let your light shine, for this is a time of good fortune. The relationship message here is actually beautiful too, so I'm going to read that too. And it says, new energy enters old relationships, and new relationships are bursting with the sweetness and vibrancy only encountered when winter gives way to spring. This is a time to connect with others and share excitement, passion, and hearts full of joy. This card is a very auspicious sign with respect to love and partnerships in all forms. Have a beautiful day, everyone.